Have you ever looked at a picture of an ancient pyramid or a massive stone circle and just thought, how? We're talking about structures that quietly, and sometimes very loudly, challenge everything we think we know about the ancient world. They were built by people without our technology, yet they pose engineering problems we'd struggle with even today. So let's just jump right in, because this right here is the question. It's the one that hits you right in the gut when you stand in front of one of these incredible places. It seems like such a simple question, but let me tell you, the answers are anything but simple. And this isn't some fringe mystery cooked up on the internet. This is a real, persistent, nagging question that keeps mainstream archaeologists and engineers up at night. It's this incredible puzzle that, for all our modern science and smarts, just refuses to be solved. Okay, so let's really frame the problem here. Why exactly are these ancient structures so mind-bending? See, it's not just one thing. It's this whole pattern of baffling achievements that we see over and over again. We're talking about stones that weigh more than a whole herd of elephants, somehow move from quarries miles and miles away. We're talking about foundations that are leveled to within a tiny fraction of an inch, and alignments so perfect they track the movements of the stars. And maybe the craziest part? No blueprints, no plans, nothing. So, if we're ever going to get to the bottom of this, we have to do one thing first. We have to completely ditch that old, tired idea of our ancestors as being, well, primitive. This right here is where our thinking has to shift. The old assumption was, oh, they were just trying to survive day to day. But the new understanding, based on the evidence, is that they had a deep, profound knowledge of their world. We used to think they were unsophisticated, but how does an unsophisticated society organize thousands of people for a massive, multi-generational project? We assumed they lacked complex tech, but what if their tech was a highly advanced system of passing down complex knowledge orally from person to person? And just like that, the whole inquiry flips on its head. We stop asking that dismissive question, how could they have possibly done this? And we start asking a much more humble and, frankly, a much more exciting one. What did they know that we've forgotten? All right, with that new perspective locked in, let's do this. Let's open up the case files and take a tour of what should have been impossible. And where else could we possibly start? We have to go with the big one, the icon itself, a monument so famous that sometimes we forget just how utterly insane it really is, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Just try to wrap your head around this number for a second. 2.3 million stone blocks. The average ones weigh a couple of tons, which is a challenge in itself. But then you get to the granite blocks deep inside, the ones forming the king's chamber, and they weigh over 70 tons. That's literally the weight of a modern battle tank. And this is where the conventional explanations start to wobble a bit. The main theory involves these huge ramps, but there are some serious problems. Where is the evidence for a ramp that massive? How on earth do you haul a 70-ton block hundreds of feet into the air? And how are you cutting these stones with such incredible precision using tools made of soft copper? It's a logistical nightmare, no matter how you look at it. Okay, let's leave the colossal scale of Egypt for a moment and travel across the globe to the Andes. We're going to look at a different kind of impossible, the absolutely mind-bending, mortarless stonework of the Inca at Machu Picchu. This right here, this is the hallmark of Inca masonry. We're talking about massive, irregularly shaped stones, many weighing several tons. And they're fitted together without a single drop of mortar, like some kind of giant, organic 3D puzzle. The fit is so perfect, you literally cannot slide a knife blade between them. It's flawless. And here's the paradox that makes this so stunning. They accomplished all of this with no iron tools, no wheel, and no large draft animals like horses or oxen. The interlocking design itself is genius. It makes their buildings incredibly earthquake-resistant. But the big question, the one nobody has a really good answer for, is how in the world did they shape these complex stones with such accuracy? Okay, our final case file is the one that really rewrites the books. It absolutely shatters our whole timeline of human civilization. I'm talking about Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey. Get ready for this. It's over 11,000 years old. Let me put that into perspective for you. This place is more than twice as old as the Great Pyramid. It's older than Stonehenge by thousands of years. It was built before humans had even figured out farming or pottery or metal tools. According to the old story of history, it simply shouldn't exist. And that is why this site is such a bombshell. The whole model we learned was first came farming, Then people settled down, and then they had the time to build big things. Göbekli Tepe flips that entire story upside down. It suggests that hunter-gatherers were the ones organizing to build these massive monuments first. The why is a huge mystery. And even weirder, after centuries of use, they deliberately buried the entire complex. Why? We just don't know. So we've looked at these amazing individual sites. Now, let's pull the camera back. Let's start connecting the dots and see if we can find a pattern here, a message hidden in the stones across time. When you lay it all out on a timeline like this, it's just staggering. From Göbekli Tepe way back in 9000 BCE, all the way to Machu Picchu, we're looking at a tradition of megalithic building that spans over 10,000 years of human history. This wasn't some brief flash of genius. This was a persistent, long-standing legacy of knowledge. And what's so wild is that across all that time, across different continents and cultures, you see the same common threads: a deep, sophisticated understanding of the stars, a mastery of geometry and mathematics, the sheer logistical genius to organize huge numbers of people for decades, sometimes centuries. It all points to a widespread, ancient form of knowledge, and maybe, just maybe, some lost tools or techniques that we can't even recognize. So, okay, at the end of the day, why does any of this really matter? I mean, they're just old rocks, right? Well, no. This stuff, it gets to the very heart of how we view our own history and our own potential. And this is the crucial takeaway. These structures are huge, humbling reminder that progress isn't a simple, straight line always going up. It's entirely possible that ancient societies had profound skills and knowledge that have since been completely lost to time. Skills can just disappear. The source material puts it perfectly. These ancient monuments, they aren't silent relics collecting dust. They are active participants in a conversation with us right now. They're constantly pushing us, challenging us to reconsider everything we thought we knew for sure. And so we end right back where we started, but with a much deeper question. It's not just, how did they do it anymore? It's a more profound question that these silent stones are asking all of us. What knowledge have we lost?